Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the language enthusiasts at Meerahoo Language Solutions, and we're taking you on a journey through the fascinating world of language services. Today, we are cracking open the 2024 Nimdzi 100 report. And let me tell you, this thing is absolutely packed with insight.
It's like a backstage pass to this booming industry.
Oh, yeah?
Get to see the scale of it all, who the major players are, and where the whole landscape is headed.
Okay, so first things first.
Yeah.
How big are we talking here? Just how massive is this language services industry?
Get ready for this. It hit a whopping $67.9 billion in 2023.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, that's bigger than the entire GDP of many countries.
Wow.
And by 2028, it's projected to reach nearly $95 billion.
That's mind-blowing. And I bet it's not just about translating documents anymore, right?
You're absolutely right. It's evolved way beyond that. We're talking translation, localization, interpreting, subtitling, dubbing, AI data services, the whole nine yards.
So who are the big names driving this growth? Who are the rock stars of the language services world?
The Nimdzi 100 gives us a clear picture of that. At the top of the charts is TransPerfect, pulling in over $1 billion in revenue. They have a strong foothold in translation, particularly in the life sciences field.
Impressive. And who's coming in second?
That would be Language Line Solutions, specializing in interpreting services with a cool $963 million in revenue.
You know, it's fascinating to see such a diverse range of companies in this ranking. You've got those focusing on specific niches, like video games.
Right.
And then you have companies like Meerahoo Language Solutions, who offer a whole spectrum of language services tailored to fit any need.
And speaking of the bigger picture, here's a surprising fact. Despite those giants at the top 100 companies only represent about 20.5% of the total market share.
Wow.
This means the industry is still pretty fragmented, but it is steadily consolidating, with mergers and acquisitions happening all the time.
It's like a constantly shifting landscape.
Yeah.
So with all this growth and change, what are some of the major trends shaping the future of language services?
Well, one trend that's impossible to ignore is the rise of artificial intelligence, or AI. Specifically, generative AI, or Gen AI, is making huge waves.
Okay.
It's being used to enhance existing tools, create entirely new services, and drive efficiency like never before.
AI seems to be everywhere these days.
Yeah.
And it's definitely changing the game in a lot of industries. But I remember when AI first started appearing in language services, there was a lot of apprehension, even fear. Has that changed?
It has.
Okay.
And that shift is reflected in the Nimdzi report. Initially, people were worried about AI taking over jobs, but now more than half of the language service providers surveyed believe that Gen AI will have a positive impact on their business.
So they're starting to see it as a tool, not a threat.
Exactly. And this change in perspective is opening up a whole world of possibilities.
Speaking of possibilities, what are some other trends on the horizon for language services? What else should our listeners be aware of?
Another significant trend is the rise of machine interpreting, or MI. This technology provides real-time translation for meetings and conferences, and it's breaking into new markets all the time.
Oh.
Imagine attending an international conference and being able to understand every speaker in real time, regardless of their language. That's the power of MI.
That's amazing. I could see how that would be invaluable for businesses, especially in today's globalized world. And speaking of businesses, if you're looking to navigate this complex language services landscape, you need a partner who can guide you every step of the way. That's where Meerahoo Language Solutions comes in.
Absolutely. Meerahoo offers a comprehensive suite of language services, from translation and localization to interpreting and AI-powered solutions.
Oh, wow.
They have a team of experts who are passionate about language and committed to helping businesses succeed on a global scale.
If you're interested in exploring what Meerahoo can do for your business, you can find them online at meerahoo.com. They're your one-stop shop for all your language service needs. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the challenges facing this rapidly growing industry. What are some of the hurdles that language service providers need to overcome?
Well, staying ahead of the technology curve is a big one. With things like Gen AI emerging so quickly, language service providers are under constant pressure to innovate and adapt. It's a fast-paced environment that requires agility and a willingness to embrace change.
It sounds like it takes a special kind of company to thrive in this industry.
Yeah.
What else are they dealing with?
Another ongoing challenge is talent acquisition and retention. Finding and keeping skilled linguists and language professionals is absolutely crucial to providing high-quality services. And with the industry growing so rapidly, the competition for top talent is fierce.
I can imagine. It's like a talent arms race out there. So how are these companies adapting What are they doing to attract and keep the best people?
Well, one major development has been a wave of mergers and acquisitions.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of consolidation as companies try to expand their service offerings, reach new markets, and gain a competitive edge.
Like the saying goes, sometimes bigger IS better, especially when you're competing on a global scale.
And this consolidation is attracting attention from another key player, private equity firms.
Why are they interested in language services?
Yeah.
What are they seeing?
They're seeing the incredible growth potential fueled by the increasing role of AI. They're betting big on the future of language services, and their investments are pouring fuel on the innovation fire.
It sounds like they're putting their money where their mouths are. So what does this mean for someone who needs language services? What should they be looking for in a provider?
It boils down to this. Choose a language services provider who is truly invested in your success. You want a partner who understands your business needs, can offer innovative solutions, and prioritizes quality and communication. Someone who's going to be with you every step of the way, helping you achieve your global goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And when it comes to finding a partner who ticks all those boxes, Meerahoo Language Solutions is a name you can trust.
Absolutely. Meerahoo has built a reputation for excellence, delivering high-quality language services with a personalized touch. They have the expertise, the cutting-edge technology, and a deep commitment to client success.
To explore the world of possibilities Meerahoo offers, you can visit their website at meerahoo.com. Now let's dive into a particularly fascinating segment of the language services industry, the world of interpreting.
This sector has seen incredible growth, and in 2023, it actually had the highest growth rates in the entire language services industry.
Oh, wow.
It's truly remarkable.
Wow, that is impressive. What's driving that growth? What's fueling this surge in demand for interpreting services?
It's a combination of factors. First, there's a growing emphasis on multilingualism and language equality, particularly in regulated industries like healthcare and government.
That makes sense. Ensuring clear communication across language barriers is absolutely crucial in those fields. You can't afford to have any misunderstandings when people's health and well-being are at stake.
Exactly. And sadly, crises like immigration and war also increase the demand for interpreting services.
It's a reminder of the human side of this industry and the vital role it plays in bridging divides and helping people communicate in some of the most challenging situations imaginable.
It is. And our research shows that this upward trend in the interpreting sector is likely to continue.
With the world becoming increasingly interconnected, it seems inevitable. The demand for interpreting services is only going to grow. And I'm curious, how is technology shaping the future of interpreting? Is AI playing a role here as well?
It absolutely is. Machine interpreting, or MI, as we discussed earlier, is making significant inroads in the interpreting world. New MI solutions are being developed all the time, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
But can AI truly replace human interpreters? Especially in those sensitive situations you mentioned earlier where accuracy and nuanced understanding are so important.
That's a question that's generating a lot of debate, and it's one that we'll explore in more depth in the next part of our deep dive. Join us then as we continue our journey through the fascinating world of language services, brought to you by Meerahoo Language Solutions. Welcome back to the deep dive, brought to you by the language experts at Meerahoo Language Solutions. In part one, we talked about the phenomenal growth of the language services industry and the ever-growing role of AI. Now let's zoom in on the business side of things and unpack the challenges and strategies that are shaping this dynamic market.
That sounds like a great place to pick up. We know the industry is facing pressure to innovate and adapt. So what are some of the specific hurdles that language service providers are grappling with?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is navigating the constantly evolving landscape of technology. Generative AI and large language models, or LLMs as they're often called, are creating both incredible opportunities and major disruptions. It's a bit of a tightrope walk for these companies.
That's a classic double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
AI has the potential to streamline processes and create entirely new services, but it also demands that companies invest in these new technologies and make sure their staff are trained to use them effectively.
Exactly. There's a learning curve involved, and language service providers need to stay ahead of that curve if they want to remain competitive. And on top of that, there's the ongoing challenge of attracting and retaining top talent.
Especially with the industry experiencing such rapid growth, I imagine the competition for skilled linguists and language professionals is incredibly fierce.
It absolutely is. Companies are always on the lookout for ways to recruit and retain the best and brightest in the field. And this talent crunch actually contributes to another challenge: price pressure.
So they're being squeezed from both sides. They need to invest in technology and talent, but they also need to keep their prices competitive to attract clients.
That's the balancing act they have to manage. And it's no easy feat. It's a complex equation. But those who can find that sweet spot, those who can balance innovation, talent, and competitive pricing are the ones who will thrive in this demanding market.
It sounds like it takes a special kind of company to navigate all that successfully. So how are language service providers responding to these challenges? What strategies are they using to adapt and succeed in this environment?
Well, one of the most notable trends has been the wave of mergers and acquisitions we've been seeing.
Right.
Companies are joining forces to expand their service offerings, tap into new markets, and gain a competitive edge.
It's a classic case of bigger is better, at least in today's globalized business landscape.
Mm,
By consolidating, companies can pool their resources, expertise, and technology to offer a wider range of services and reach a broader client base.
precisely. And this consolidation trend has caught the eye of another key player, private equity firms.
Now, why would private equity firms be interested in the language services industry? What's piquing their interest?
They see the industry's enormous growth potential, especially with the increasing role of AI. They're recognizing the growing demand for language services, which is being driven by so many factors: globalization, the explosion of e-commerce, and the increasing importance of multilingual content.
So they're betting on the future of language, and these investments are fueling even more innovation in the industry. It's like a self-perpetuating cycle of growth and progress.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. The investors see returns, the companies gain resources and expertise, and the clients benefit from better services and more cutting-edge technology. Now, let's zoom back in and revisit a specific segment of the industry that we touched on earlier: machine interpreting, or MI.
Yes. Let's talk more about that. This technology seems to be making waves in the world of interpreting. Can you give us a quick refresher on what MI is all about?
Certainly. Machine interpreting uses artificial intelligence to provide real-time translation during conversations. It's essentially breaking down language barriers in real time, which is an incredible feat.
I can see how valuable that would be in so many situations,
Mm,
from business negotiations and international conferences to travel and everyday interactions.
absolutely. It opens up a world of possibilities for communication and collaboration. But as with any new technology, there are questions about its capabilities and limitations.
And I think the big question on everyone's mind is, can MI truly replace human interpreters? Especially in those sensitive situations we discussed earlier, like legal proceedings or medical consultations, where accuracy and nuanced understanding are absolutely critical. What are your thoughts on that?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that's generating a lot of discussion and debate. While MI is advancing at an incredible pace, most experts agree that it's not quite ready to handle those high-stakes situations where human judgment, cultural sensitivity, and emotional intelligence are absolutely paramount.
It makes sense. While AI can process language and translate words with impressive accuracy, it still lacks the ability to grasp the subtle nuances of human communication, those unspoken cues and the cultural context that play such a crucial role in interpretation.
Exactly. Human interpreters bring a level of expertise and understanding that AI simply cannot replicate, at least not yet. However, MI is a powerful tool, and it's finding its niche in situations where the stakes are lower and the need for speed and efficiency outweighs the need for perfect nuance.
So it's not a matter of AI versus human interpreters, but rather how they can work together, complementing each other's strengths to provide the best possible service.
That's the key takeaway. It's about collaboration between human expertise and technological innovation. And as AI continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more creative and effective ways to integrate it into the world of interpreting.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities. Now, we briefly touched on AI dubbing earlier. Is this technology poised to revolutionize media localization? How is it changing the game?
AI dubbing has the potential to be a real game changer. It uses synthetic voice technology and machine learning algorithms to create voiceovers and dubs that sound incredibly realistic. I've heard some examples, and it's almost eerie how natural and human-like these AI-generated voices sound.
I've heard them too, and it's truly remarkable. It's hard to believe they're not real human voices. What are some of the advantages of using AI dubbing over traditional dubbing methods?
AI dubbing offers several significant advantages. It's faster, more cost-effective, and can be easily scaled to handle large volumes of content. This is a huge plus for media companies looking to reach a global audience without breaking the bank.
I can see how that would be incredibly appealing to media companies looking to expand their reach into global markets. It's a win-win. They get their content dubbed quickly and efficiently, and viewers around the world get to enjoy it in their native languages.
Exactly. And it's not just about translating the words. AI dubbing can also adapt the voiceovers to match the tone, style, and cultural nuances of the target audience. This level of sophistication is something that traditional dubbing methods often struggle to achieve.
That's impressive. It takes the art of dubbing to a whole new level. But with all these technological advancements, it's important to remember the human element behind these services. Technology is only part of the equation.
You're absolutely right. Behind every AI-powered tool are skilled linguists, language professionals, and developers who are constantly working to improve the technology and ensure its accuracy and effectiveness. They're the unsung heroes of this technological revolution.
They are the driving force behind the industry's success. And this brings us back to the importance of choosing a language service provider who values its people and invests in their development. You want a company that recognizes that human talent is their most valuable asset.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a company that exemplifies these values, Meerahoo Language Solutions is a shining example. They're known for their dedication to providing high-quality services and fostering a positive, supportive work environment for their employees.
If you're interested in learning more about Meerahoo's approach to talent development and their commitment to their employees, you can visit their website at meerahoo.com. They're a company that truly understands the value of human connection in a world that's becoming increasingly driven by technology. Now let's dive into another exciting development in the language services industry: the tools and technologies that are streamlining workflows and making these services more accessible than ever before. One trend that's really gaining traction is the rise of no-code and low-code platforms.
These platforms are really shaking things up. They're empowering businesses of all sizes to take control of their language services and build custom solutions without needing a team of developers. It's like giving everyone the tools to become their own language technology architects.
I've heard a lot of buzz about these platforms, but I'm not entirely sure what they are or how they work. Can you break it down for us? How are no-code and low-code platforms changing the game in language services?
Certainly. Imagine building something with digital Lego blocks. That's essentially what no-code and low-code platforms allow you to do. Instead of writing lines of code, users can visually drag and drop elements to create the workflows they need.
That's a great analogy. So instead of relying on developers to build custom solutions, users can create their own applications and automate their own workflows, even if they don't have coding experience.
Exactly. It's democratizing access to complex language technologies and empowering companies to manage their multilingual content more efficiently and effectively. In the context of language services, these platforms are being used to streamline a whole range of processes, from translation management and content localization to quality assurance and project management.
It sounds like a real game changer for businesses of all sizes, especially those who may have limited resources or technical expertise. It levels the playing field and gives everyone the opportunity to harness the power of language technology.
Precisely. And as these platforms continue to evolve and become even more user-friendly, we can expect to see even more innovative applications in the language services industry. It's an exciting time to be watching this space unfold.
This is fascinating stuff. It's amazing to see how technology is opening up so many possibilities for language services and making these services more accessible than ever before. But before we get too caught up in the excitement of all this innovation, I want to take a moment to bring it back to the human element.
Yes, that's so important. While technology plays a crucial role in the language services industry, it's the human element that truly makes the difference. Behind every translation, every interpretation, every piece of localized content are skilled linguists, translators, interpreters, and language professionals who bring their expertise, their passion, and their cultural understanding to the table.
They are the heart and soul of this industry, and their work is what makes global communication possible. And that's why it's so important for buyers to choose a language service provider who values its people, invests in their professional development, and fosters a culture of excellence. You want a company that recognizes that human talent is their most valuable asset.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a language service provider that truly embodies these values, look no further than Meerahoo Language Solutions. They're known for their commitment to providing high-quality services and for creating a positive and supportive work environment for their employees.
To learn more about Meerahoo's approach to talent development and their commitment to creating a great place to work, you can visit their website at meerahoo.com. They're a company that truly understands the power of human connection in a world that's becoming increasingly driven by technology. Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, It's clear that the language services industry is at the forefront of technological innovation, driven by the insatiable demand for seamless global communication.
It's a dynamic and constantly evolving market, and the future is bright for those who can embrace change, adapt to new technologies, and never lose sight of the human element that lies at the heart of it all. Join us for the final part of our deep dive as we explore the broader implications of these trends and delve into what the future holds for the world of language services. We'll be right back after a short break.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we're exploring the ever-evolving world of language services, brought to you by the experts at Meerahoo Language Solutions. In the previous parts, we delved into the industry's remarkable growth, the transformative impact of AI, and the key trends shaping this dynamic market. Now let's step back and consider the bigger picture.
What's fascinating to me is how the language services industry mirrors broader trends in globalization and technology.
Yeah.
As the world becomes more interconnected, the need for communication across languages is only going to intensify.
It's a fundamental human need to connect, and language is that bridge. And technology is playing a crucial role in dismantling those language barriers.
Absolutely. Technology is the driving force behind innovation in language services. From the rise of machine translation and AI dubbing to the emergence of no-code platforms and sophisticated workflow automation tools.
It's incredible to see how these advancements are making language services more accessible, efficient, and affordable than ever before. But, as we've discussed throughout this deep dive, technology alone isn't enough.
That's a crucial point. While technology provides the tools, it's the human element that ultimately determines the quality and effectiveness of these services. Skilled linguists, translators, interpreters, and language professionals are the backbone of this industry.
They bring the cultural understanding, the nuanced interpretation, and the creativity that make these services truly valuable. And as we touched on earlier, attracting and retaining this top talent is a significant challenge for language service providers.
It is. It's a highly competitive market, and companies are constantly seeking ways to recruit and empower their employees. This includes providing professional development opportunities, fostering a positive and supportive work environment, and recognizing the unique value that each individual brings to the team.
And Meerahoo Language Solutions is a prime example of a company that truly prioritizes its people.
They've built a solid reputation for being an exceptional employer, known for investing in their employees' growth and well-being.
If you're curious to learn more about Meerahoo's company culture and commitment to their employees, you can visit their website at meerahoo.com.
Now, let's turn our attention to the buyers of language services. What advice would you give to businesses searching for the right language services provider?
First and foremost, I'd say choose a provider who is genuinely invested in your success. You want a partner who understands your business goals, your target audience, and your specific needs.
That's essential. Communication is key. You want a provider who actively listens to your concerns, responds promptly to your inquiries, and keeps you informed every step of the way.
Absolutely. Transparency and responsiveness are crucial. And don't hesitate to ask questions about their processes, their technology, and their team's expertise.
As a buyer, it's your right to be informed. And remember, quality should always be the top priority. Never compromise on quality just to save a few dollars.
Couldn't agree more. A poorly translated website or a subpar interpretation can severely damage your brand reputation and hinder your global expansion efforts.
It's a risk not worth taking. Investing in high-quality language services is an investment in your business's future.
And if you're looking for a language services partner who embodies these values, Meerahoo Language Solutions is a fantastic option.
They check all the boxes: quality communication expertise and a genuine commitment to their clients' success.
If you're ready to take your business global or elevate your existing multilingual communication, you can connect with Meerahoo through their website.
That's meerahoo.com. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's reflect on some key takeaways. The language services industry is experiencing explosive growth fueled by globalization, relentless technological advancements, and that fundamental human need to connect across cultures.
It's an industry in perpetual motion, constantly evolving, and the pace of change is only accelerating. Yet, amidst all this transformation, one thing remains constant: the enduring importance of human connection.
The skilled linguists, translators, interpreters, and language professionals who work tirelessly behind the scenes are the ones who bring these services to life. They are the bridge builders, the storytellers, the cultural ambassadors who make global communication possible.
They are the unsung heroes of an increasingly multilingual and interconnected world.
And that's a powerful thought to leave our listeners with. The future of communication is bright, and language services are playing a vital role in shaping that future. If you're looking for a partner on your language journey, look no further than Meerahoo Language Solutions.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of language services. We'll be back soon with another fascinating exploration, ready to unearth the knowledge that matters most. Until then, keep those deep dive requests coming.